After about 35 years of diving and teaching scuba diving for the last few years, I've seen a lot of really stupid things on dive boats. And if you want to look like you know what you're doing as you show up to your dive charter, here are some tips for how to not look stupid. Some of these are big deals, some of them are very minor pet peeves. But if you want to be a good customer and a good fellow diver on the boat, just don't do these things. Boarding without permission. Before each dive charter, your crew gets there, prepares the boat, loads up tanks, gets equipment ready, and has a ton of work to do. And you should not be on the boat until they tell you to get on the boat. We get people all the time, they just show up, they walk on the boat, they plop their stuff down before asking. So always ask for permission from the captain or the dive master before you board the boat. Arriving late. If the boat departure is 9 a.m. or 1 p.m., that is the time that it should be leaving the dock. That means the captain has given the briefing. That means everybody's ready to go. That also means don't show up 5 minutes before that time. Count on there being traffic. There will be traffic. The drawbridge will be up. Starbucks will take longer than you think. There's going to be a long line at the drive-thru at McDonald's. So don't arrive late. I think you should arrive at the boat about an hour before departure. That gives you plenty of time to check in and get your gear ready before departure. Not bringing your certification cards. You've got either a plastic or an electronic certification card from your dive agency, and the dive shop needs to see that before they can take you on the trip. If you make them look up your certification because you forgot it at home, you're now taking time away from the check-in process for other people. And if we have to look up everybody's certification before the boat leaves, we're never going to leave on time. So just bring your card with you. Don't bring a banana on board. It's bad luck. If you do, you're going to get hazed by your fellow customers and the captain. There's a lot of superstition about bananas on boats. If you want to look up why, you can ChatGPT or Google it. Actually, don't look it up on ChatGPT. The answer is not very good. Just Google it and go down that rabbit hole. Not knowing what you're doing. That means not remembering how to set up your gear, not remembering how to control your buoyancy. If you haven't dived for a while, it's natural that you're going to need some help setting up your gear. But the crew on the boat does not have time to do this for 20 people. So if it's been a while or you feel a little rusty about your dive skills or your ability to set up gear, take a refresher class before you go diving. As an instructor, I love to do refreshers and remind people how to do all of those basic skills and get them comfortable before their dive trip. Or hire a dive guide so that you have a person on the boat who's a dive professional who's going to help you get set up, get comfortable in the water, and make sure that you're diving in a safe and fun way. Don't spread out all your stuff all over the boat. Dive boats are crowded places. We each get a very limited amount of space for our stuff. If you've got your stuff spread out like it's a garage sale all over the boat, then there's no room for other people's gear. Your fins become a tripping hazard. Think about taking up as little space as possible. Here's a good example of a perfect gear setup with their gear right below their tank and they're not taking up too much space. Don't use spray sunscreen. It's nasty. We don't like to breathe it in. It gets all over the boat and it makes a mess. Use a mineral-based, reef-safe sunscreen, which will protect you from the sun and not damage the corals. Not paying attention during roll call or the dive briefing. It's really important that we have an accurate roll call on every dive boat because it's kind of important to bring back the same people that we left with. And we can only do that with an accurate manifest and a roll call, name by name, of all the people that are on that boat. So pay attention to the roll call and pay attention to the dive briefing. The captain and the dive master are there to describe how to be safe, how to navigate the conditions that we're likely to have, how to explore the dive site, and how to have a great time. So be respectful and stop talking when the captain has an announcement to make, when the dive master is going to give a dive briefing about what to expect, and please pay attention to what they have to say. Not signing your waivers in advance. Almost all dive shops now will send you an electronic waiver for the trip in advance. And if you wait until you show up for the dive trip and have to fill out the waiver, you're taking time again from the check-in process. When you get the email that says, please complete this electronic waiver, just complete it and you'll be all set to go. Not knowing how much weight you need. If you've gained some weight or lost some weight, or you have some new gear that you're wearing, the weight you need might be different than the last time you dove. But once you know how much weight you need, and that's a whole separate topic, once you know how much weight you need for that equipment setup, write it down. Put it in your logbook so that the next time you show up on the dive boat, you can refer to that. There are references that you can use to calculate approximately how much weight you might need, but the only way to really know is to try it out. Once you know how much weight you need, write it down. Put it in your logbook. Make a note. Send a text to yourself. So the next time you go diving, you know how much weight you need, you grab those weights, and you look like you know what you're doing. Don't clog the head. I'm not even going to make a video of this one. If you're lucky enough to have a head on a dive boat, don't put any toilet paper or anything that hasn't passed through your body into the bowl, and then flush it when you're done. And that's all I got to say about that. Not tipping the crew at the end of the trip. They have worked hard for your safety, to get that boat ready, to have your equipment there for you, to take you on a great adventure, and they still have hours of work to do to clean up the boat, put all the gear away, and get it ready for the next charter. So send a little love their way. The crew that is making your journey safe and fun, just like your favorite waitress, bartender, cop, politician, works for tips and gratuities. So make sure that you bring some cash to give them, to thank them for what they did to give you a great experience. If you have other suggestions for how to not be a horrible customer on a dive charter, post them in the comments, and I'll see you back here next time.